Okay, so last Friday we did dividing fractions, and we know that these fractions have lots of different ways they look, so we're going to practice dividing fractions again today. But today we're going to talk about that mixed number again, and also when you're dividing fractions and you have a whole number involved. So we're going to go over that today, and then we'll go over decimals sometime this week, and we'll start doing all four operations together. And you'll probably have a test probably the next week, not next week, but the next. So we'll be getting prepared for that. So let's start with dividing fractions that involve mixed numbers and whole numbers. We're not going to do a notebook entry today because we know how to do mixed numbers and we know how to do whole numbers. So this is going to be just like a practice what you know day. So let's get started. So let's say we have -2 and 4/6 divided by 3/5. Now, again, we see that we have a mixed number, so we have to convert it first before we can move on. So we do around the world. Again, around the world is you multiply the denominator times the whole number, and then you add the numerator. So 6 times 2 is 12. 12 plus 4 is 16. 16 6, and bring your sign with it. And then just bring the rest of the problem down. So now we have two fractions that we can work with. Okay, if you have two fractions and you want to divide, you flip the second one and multiply. So we're not going to do anything to the first one. We're just going to bring it over, change it to multiplication, and flip this second one to 5/3. Don't forget to bring your signs with it. Now we're just going to multiply straight across the top. I don't know what 16 times 5 is right off the top of my head, so I'm just going to do this. And I got 80. And multiply the bottom, so we get 18. Don't forget to go back and check your signs. This one's negative, this one's positive, which means my answer is negative. So I have -80 over 18. I know I can't keep it that way. So I need to divide 80 by 18. And I am going to try, let me see, do I think 5 would work? No, 5 would be too much, so let's try 4. 8 times 4 is 32. 4 times 1 is 4. 4 plus 3 is 7. And we subtract that, and we get 8. That's less than 18, so it becomes my remainder. 4 and 8/18. Don't forget your negative. -4 and 8/18. I see that I can divide both of these by 2. So I'm going to bring my whole number over. -4. 8 divided by 2 is 4. 18 divided by 2 is 9. So my answer is -4 and 4/9. That wasn't too terrible. It's just a lot of extra steps to do. So let's scoot on down here and let's try I don't know why it gets out of focus sometimes. Let's try -3 divided by -2/5. Now this time I have a whole number and I'm trying to divide it by a fraction, so I need to make my whole number a fraction. So I can make any whole number a fraction by putting it over 1. So now I need to flip the second one and multiply. So I bring my -3 over 1 over. I change it to multiplication, and I flip this one to -5 over 2. Then all I need to do is multiply my numerators, which is -3 times -5 is +15. And 1 times 2 is 2. Now I need to divide, and I know I'm going to get, I need to divide 15 by 2, which is going to give me positive 7 and 1/2. Positive 7 and 1/2. Okay, let's try another one with mixed numbers again. Let's try 5 and 2/3 divided by 6/7. So the first thing I need to do is I see I have a mixed number. So I need to go ahead and convert that to an improper fraction. And I can do that by going around the world, which means I'm going to multiply the denominator times the whole number, and I'll get 15. And then I'm going to add 2, which is going to give me 17 over 3. And my number is positive, so it stays positive. Now, this says divide by 6/7. So if I have two fractions and I want to divide, I flip the second one and multiply. So I'm going to change this to multiplication. And I'm going to flip this one from 6/7 to 7/6. Now all I need to do is multiply straight across the top and straight across the bottom. I don't know what 17 times 7 is, so I'm going to come up here and do 17 times 7. 7 times 7 is 49, so I did my 9, I carried my 4. 7 times 1 is 7. 7 plus 4 is 11. So I have 119 over 3 times 6 is 18. Now I can't leave it like that, so I need to divide to get the right answer. So I'm going to come down here and do 119 divided by 18. Let me think. How many times will 18 go into 119? Let's see. I think it's going to be 4. Let's try 4. Let me see what 18 times 4 is. Oh, that's only 72. Let's try 5. That's 90. That's closer. Let's try 6. 108. I think that's as close as we're going to get. So let's go 6. 6 times 18 is 108. We subtract and we get 11. 11 is less than 18, so it is our remainder. So we are left with 6 and 11/18 as our answer, and it is positive. Positive 6 and 11/18. Okay, I've had several people in class ask me about calculators. The reason we're not using calculators is because on the ACAP, or test that we take at the end of the year, you're not allowed to use calculators on this part of the test. What I teach from August to December is what you're not allowed to use calculators on the ACAP. So we don't use calculators until we get to the parts that we can use a calculator on ACAP. So I don't want you practicing using a calculator when you're not going to be able to use it on the test that you take at the end of the year. So that's why we do it all in our head. And it's also good because we don't forget how to do it if we're doing it with our own brain. I know my smartphone has made me a terrible speller now. I used to could spell really well, and my smartphone spells things for me. So I have dropped that out of my ear, as I say. I don't even have to think about spelling anymore. So it's good to use your brain to think about math, and make sure you're not using a calculator right now, because you won't be able to use it on the ACAP at the end of the year. And they are saying we are going to be taking the ACAP as of right now, so we are preparing like we're going to be taking it. So let's move on and try some more. Okay, I'm going to give you one to try. You're welcome to pause this video and try to work it out yourself before you play it again and we get the answer. So let's do negative 3 3/7 divided by negative 5/8. Negative 3 3/7 divided by negative 5/8. Go ahead and pause this video and try it on your own. Okay, let's go ahead and convert. I see I have a mixed number, so I'm going to do around the world. So 7 times 3 is 21. 21 plus 3 is 24. Bring your sign, 24/7, and it's negative 24/7. Then, when you have two fractions and you want to divide, you flip the second one and multiply. So I'm going to multiply here, and I'm going to keep the sign and flip my fraction. Now all I need to do is multiply across the top. I do not know what 24 times 8 is, so I'm going to write it up here like this and do it. 8 times 4 is 32, carry my 3. 8 times 2 is 16, and 16 plus 3 is 19, so I get 192. And then 7 times 5 is 35. I go back and I look at my signs. A negative times a negative equals a positive, so my answer is positive. Now it is an improper fraction, so I need to divide 192 divided by 35. I know that 3 times 30 is 90, so that is pretty close. Let's try 35 times 3 first and see how close it is. 35 times 3 is 15. 3 times 3 is 9. 9 plus 1 is 10. So that's going to be 105. Let's try 35 times 4. Which is 20. 4 times 3 is 12. 12 plus 2 is 14. That's 140. Let's try 35 times 5, because I could still add 35 to that and not be over 192. So 5 times 3 is 15. 15 plus 2 is 7. Okay, I can't add 35 more and not be over 192, so it's definitely 5. So let's use 5. And we see that 35 times 5 is 175. Subtract. We get 17. 17 35ths. So that is equal to 5 and 17 35ths. Okay, let's move on down here. This time let's do one with two mixed numbers, which means we're just going to have to convert two fractions to two improper fractions. So let's do 2 2/5, negative 2 2/5, divided by negative 3 3/4. Go ahead and pause that video. Make sure you do around the world first and then try to divide those fractions. Okay, so we are going to do around the world, which means I'm going to multiply. 5 times 2 is 10. 10 plus 2 is 12/5. And remember your sign, it's negative 12/5. And we're going to go ahead and change this to multiply. And let's do around the world here. 4 times 3 is 12. 12 plus 3 is 15. And keep the denominator. Now we're going to multiply across the top. I don't know what 12 times 15 is, so I'm going to come up here and do 12 times 15. 5 times 2 is 10. Carry your 1. 5 times 1 is 5. 5 plus 1 is 6. Don't forget your 0, because we're not really multiplying 1 times 2. We're multiplying 10 times 2, which is why we put our 0 here. 1 times 2 is 2, and 1 times 1 is 1. Add them together, and you get 180. And 5 times 4 is 20. Okay, I go back and I check my signs. Oh, this one's negative. A negative times a negative is a positive answer. So we can't leave it like this, so this one's going to be easy. 180 divided by 20. 20 will go into 180 9 times. And we have no remainder, so that means our answer is positive 9. Positive 9. We're going to do a couple more, and then I'm going to let you go on your worksheet to do today. Make sure you're doing that worksheet and turning it in. I can't know, I don't know how to help you if I can't see your work. And if you don't turn it in, then I can't see your work. So make sure that you are downloading with annotations before you share it with me or submit it to me, so you make sure that you have it in your Google Drive with annotations. Don't forget to save it with annotations. Okay, let's do a couple more, and then I'm going to let you go on your worksheet. So let's say we have 5 8/10 divided by 2 1/5. Okay, I have two mixed numbers, so I'm going to go around the world. 10 times 5 is 50. 50 plus 8 is 58. You keep the same denominator, and your sign is positive, so it's positive. I change this to multiply. I go around the world here. 5 times 2 is 10. 10 plus 1 is 11. Keep the denominator. Now I'm going to multiply across the top. I don't know what 58 times 11 is, so let's try. We know that's going to be 58. Don't forget your 0. $638 over 10 times 5 is 50. Okay, so let's, it is a positive times a positive, so our answer is positive, and let's convert that to a proper fraction. So we have 638 divided by 50. I know 12 times 5 is 60, so I know that 12 times 50 is going to be 600. So I'm going to put 12 up here, and I'm going to be left with 38. And 38 is less than 50, so it's my remainder, 38 over 50. So I'm left with 12 and 38 fiftieths. Those are both still even numbers, so I'm going to divide them both by 2. And I'm going to bring my whole number over. 38 divided by 2 is 19. 50 divided by 2 is 25. And that is my final answer. Positive 12 and 19/25. Let's do one more, and then I'm going to let you go on your work today. So let's do 7 1/2 divided by -4/5. I see a mixed number, so I need to turn it into an improper fraction, so I'm going to do that. 7 times 2 is 14. 14 plus 1 is 15. And keep your denominator. Change this to multiply. Flip this. -4/5 will be -5/4. Then we just multiply. 15 times 5 is, or 15 times -5 is -75. And 2 times 4 is 8. I need to convert this. 75 divided by 8. 8 times 9 is 72. 5 minus 2 is 3. 3 is less than 8, so that means it's my remainder of 9 3/8. Go back, make sure you have the correct sign. It is -9 3/8. Don't forget that sign. Okay, good luck on your work today, and I will see you tomorrow.